right now on 5 on your side at 10.
We begin with breaking news in St. Louis. Within just the last hour, we can confirm 3 people were shot near the Broadway Oyster Bar just south of downtown. 5 on your side's Annie Krall raced to the scene just as soon as we heard about this. Annie, what can you tell us right now?
Brent, this all unfolded starting about 2 hours ago at South 4th and Gratiot Avenue, and people were out here on a Saturday night trying to enjoy dinner at Billy's on Broadway, at Broadway Oyster Bar just down the street, and those businesses are still open, but of course there are detectives combing this crime scene right now, and this is what we know so far. Most importantly, police say the first man was shot multiple times and was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. They say death is unfortunately imminent. A second man was shot in the back and rushed to the hospital for surgery. A third man was shot in the leg, also taken to the hospital. Both of their conditions are unknown as of tonight. Homicide detectives are now handling the investigation, and around the same time as this triple shooting, police tell us there was another incident close to South 7th and Park Avenue, and that was when a woman was cut by some broken glass. They do tell us that that is in connection with the earlier incident. We will keep you updated on air and online at KSDK.com. For now, they're reporting live in South St. Louis. Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
Yeah, Annie, a very active scene there. And of course, we are all over this breaking story. As soon as we learn more, you'll see it on air, online at KSDK.com and on the 5 on your side app. Tonight, we catch up with the Gaza boy who came to St. Louis for medical treatment after losing his leg in an Israeli missile strike. We first introduced you to that 12-year-old on Monday. Well, tonight, he's helping people learn more about the nonprofit that brought him here. Prior to tonight's breaking news, Annie Krall filed this exclusive report.
Healing, the word we've kept hearing since meeting Hadi Zakut for the first time less than a week ago. The 12-year-old lost his left leg on November 15th after 4 Israeli missiles hit the apartment building where the Zakut family lived in central Gaza. Traveling to St. Louis with his mother, Camelia, who lost her cousin and her cousin's grandmother in the same attack.
She said wherever we walked, there were people that were dead bodies.
Now Camelia says they both feel more at home with their host family in Kirkwood after arriving at Lambert Airport last month, speaking through translator Lena Warad.
She says that everybody's treating him with such love that she feels like it's kind of helping him to heal, even though it's going to be a slow process, but he is healing.
Healing during Saturday's trivia night at the Islamic Center of Hazelwood, benefiting Heal Palestine, the nonprofit that recently brought about a dozen children from Gaza to the U.S. for medical treatment. Though it's hard for Camelia to not think about her 6 children and her injured husband still in Gaza.
Especially when she's having a good home-cooked warm meal. She's sleeping on a comfortable bed. She feels guilty because her 17-year-old daughter is now responsible for taking care of her 4 younger siblings.
But Hadi needed to travel with a female relative to access the travel, housing, and medical expenses paid for by Heal Palestine. Hadi gets a prosthetic leg at Shriners Children's Hospital this month.
We feel so helpless being so far and so away. We've done protests, we've done fundraisers, you know, what else can we do? So having somebody come to us so where we can just touch and feel and see and, you know, take care of him, feed him and do whatever.
It's also going to be hard for him, not only because this is a completely whole different area from Palestine in the Middle East, but I feel like with this big community, it will definitely make it way easier on him, which he does have a lot of friends right now, and it's so cute.
Annie Krall reporting there. If you're interested in donating to Heal Palestine, you can find a link in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. New tonight, police are showing us some of the guns and drugs they got off the street. St. Louis police shared this photo on social media after the North Patrol Division and the SWAT team searched a home on Labadee Avenue yesterday. That's where they say they found 4 guns and what's believed to be cocaine, heroin, and fentanyl. Several people were taken into custody. Tonight, a local advocacy group traveled to Peoria to talk to the House Speaker about the upcoming RECA deadline. Speaker Mike Johnson was there for a benefit dinner hosted by local Republicans. The Radiation Exposure Compensation Act could go up for a vote next week. Just Moms STL say they briefly spoke with Johnson to put the bill on the House floor. Without action, the program is set to expire Friday. Well, today's rain has moved out of the bi-state, but we're already tracking our next weather maker. Meteorologist Gary Frink joins us now with your Weather First forecast.
Yeah, good evening, Brent. We've had some light showers, which of course the plants have liked, and now things will dry out for a brief period. We're going to see things improve for the rest of the weekend as you see the trail end of those showers that move through downtown and into the Metro East. We're starting to dry out from west to east. That's going to be positive for us, just to show you where a few showers popping up between Troy and Greenville on 70, but all of this is not reaching the surface. That's just radar clutter now that we settle things in. And temps at 71 degrees, 65 in Warrenton, mid 60s in Rolla into the rest of the overnight hours. Temps won't fall that much, mainly because it is humid, and that's what we'll continue to monitor as the humidity becomes a factor. We'll look at that and also talk about for the rest of your Sunday. We'll track our next chance of rain as it gets even hotter for the first week of June, Brent.
Oh boy, stay close, Gary. Well, for the first time in 2 decades, there will be a home football playoff game in St. Louis. Today, the St. Louis Battlehawks defeated the San Antonio Brahmas in the regular season finale. The win clinched home field advantage for the Battlehawks in the XFL Conference Championship game set for next Sunday. Tickets go on sale Monday morning. The last home playoff football game in St. Louis, by the way, was the 2003 divisional round between the Rams and the Carolina Panthers. Well, people are putting the pedal to the metal to see NASCAR in the Metro East. More than 100,000 people are expected to cram into Worldwide Technology Raceway. That's for the 3rd annual Enjoy Illinois 300. And that's expected to pump about $60 million into the local economy.
It's people staying in our local hotels, eating in our restaurants, and really driving the economy, the tourism, the booming tourism economy that we have right now. This is really special for us because we get to put Illinois and all of the experiences and things that you can do in Illinois on a world stage, not just across the United States.
The Enjoy Illinois 300 is set for 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. Corey Miller will have much more for you in sports. Pride Month kicked off today with a street festival in Soulard. Let's take a look at today's festivities along Menard Street. Local restaurants, businesses, and crafters were there with booths and displays. There was live entertainment throughout the day, including drag shows and live music. For a full list of Pride events and activities in the St. Louis area this month, text the word Pride to 314-425-5355. We'll send you a link. A Grammy-winning singer turned author makes a stop in our area.
And I always said I wasn't going to write it until my kids were adults, because I didn't want them going back to high school and so I read your dad's book.
Superstar Darius Rucker appearing at a new event space in St. Louis County. New fallout from Donald Trump's historic conviction. Polls showing the impact his guilty verdict could have on the upcoming presidential election.
Well, as we continue to track rain the rest of the weekend, I think we can take it out of the forecast Sunday, but it returns Monday and Tuesday. What we mean by briefly or a few hours or somewhere in between, and how we're going to see our next rain chances set up.
A music superstar helped celebrate the grand opening of the St. Louis County Library's newest edition. Darius Rucker was the first featured speaker at the post-event space, which is located at the renovated Clark Family Branch on South Lindbergh. He discussed his new memoir called Life's Too Short, which details his nearly 40-year career and his family life. Rucker says he wanted to write the book while being as honest as possible.
I think the best autobiographies are the ones that are completely honest on what happened in your life, and so some of that stuff was hard to write. You know, writing about a lot of it. You know, my marriage or all the partying days. It was hard to write that stuff, but I said to myself, if I was going to let people read my story, I was going to tell the truth.
And as you see here, 5 on Your Side's Rennie Knott moderated that event. The Clark Family Branch is slated to open July 9th. By the way, Rucker later performed tonight at the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater.
Rain continuing to exit and things clearing out a little bit, but it will not cool down. Why it only warms up and how much more humidity we have to deal with for the next few days.
And we want to get you back now to that breaking news we brought you at the top of the hour, a triple shooting in South St. Louis. Annie Krall is live on scene for us. Annie, what are you learning?
Well, Brent, as we told you earlier in the show, we are here on Broadway, and I've been talking to folks as they were trying to have Saturday dinner at Billy's on Broadway, trying to have some fun at Broadway's Oyster Bar, and the Honky Tonk just down the street is still open, but unfortunately, as you said, there was a triple shooting here right by South 4th Avenue, and we were also talking to you about there was another incident with a woman having broken glass, and this also might be in connection with that triple shooting. So we will continue to keep you updated about everyone's condition involved in that shooting on air and online at KSDK.com. For now, though, reporting live in South St. Louis, Annie Kroll, 5 on your side.
All right, Annie, thank you. Tonight, more fallout flooding in after former President Donald Trump's historic conviction. And the first polls are in showing how being a convicted felon could impact Trump's run for president this year. NBC's Vaughn Hilliard has more.
Tonight, voters weighing in, reacting to former President Trump's guilty convictions.
My reaction was bleep yes, because he deserves it.
I think this whole thing has been a mockery. I'm embarrassed for our country.
Trump leaving New York this weekend for his golf club in New Jersey, with a planned stop tonight at a UFC fight. And now we're seeing the impact the 7-week trial could start to have on the presidential race. New polling taken after the verdict showing a majority approve of the jury's decision. Most concerning for Trump is the impact it may have on the small pocket of voters on the fence. 11% of GOP voters and 26% of independent voters, suggesting they're less likely to vote for him now. But largely, the historic conviction keeping the Biden-Trump rematch in that same months-long deadlock. Where it is changing things, campaign coffers. Trump's team reporting it's raked in more than $52 million since the verdict, narrowing President Biden's lead in the cash race.
No one is above the law was reaffirmed.
Republican legislators now lashing out. Several senators, including J.D. Vance, pledging that they are no longer cooperating with Democrat legislation or approving judicial appointees.
If they're going to try to throw Donald Trump in prison, we're taking the gloves off.
A difficult fight ahead for the GOP as their party's presumptive nominee faces mounting legal pressures. Vaughn Hilliard, NBC News, New York.
Well, today, St. Louis public schools rewarded students by throwing them a big party for all of their hard work. Check it out. The district hosted a sneaker ball for those who completed the Literacy for the Lou initiative. That program was set up in January to encourage kids to bolster their reading and writing. The district challenged kids to read at least 1,838 minutes, which marks the year SLPS was founded. More than 4,000 students completed that goal.
And the results are staggering. Children went from writing like one sentence and even nonsensical things to whole stories. And it's just absolutely fabulous. And we knew our children can do it. They just needed a little extra support.
Today's celebration had everything from face painting to haircuts, even a DJ. The reading doesn't stop. Now that school is out, the district is partnering with public libraries this summer so children can keep logging their reading. Time for your weather first forecast now. Gary Frank is standing by with that. Hey, Gary.
Yeah, good evening, Brent. It's started to finally dry out fully, and now we've worked our way into summer. June 1st, it's meteorological summer for record purposes, June, July, and August. So that's when it's obviously going to start to get hot. Our summer solstice is 19 days away at 350. So that has to do with Earth's position. We separate those spring, summer, and of course, now that spring is over, just to kind of briefly update you, 24th wettest and second warmest. So when you combine those 3 months all together, pretty impressive. We got over 16 inches of rain, and this is a wet time for us. June's another really wet month, and then it starts to gradually go down. And of course, it's been a wet couple of days here as we've had some rain, and the plants like it, as I mentioned, Kirkwood Farmers Market, but that slow-moving system has finally exited. And what we're going to notice here over the next several hours is as that finally exits, we'll see clouds eventually kind of move out. It's going to take some time. There have been a few sprinkles. You can kind of see them near Staunton fading away, and they'll do that over the next several hours. Clouds may be around by 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, but we're drying out for the most part tonight. Our sunset at 8:21. It's incredibly humid. One of the reasons, anytime we look at where we expect the lows to be, if these numbers are much lower, then our lows can drop. That's why we see our temperatures fluctuate. But when we have all this humidity, it's pretty high up on the muggy scale, and that generally means the low's not going to fall lower than this, right? So that's what we look at. And when we have all that humidity and we see storms interact with this and heating of the day, now we need a spark. We need some lift. We need some other turbulence. And that's where we look to the front range. And as the storm systems continue to develop, this is that time of the year where these little waves move over, the lift over the mountains, and then they move in. And sometimes they fall apart, sometimes they hold together. And when they do hold together, they may interact with each other, stay stronger, and then eventually provide us with some rain. And that's why we'll get these hit and miss storm chances. And you'll watch this here from Sunday night. Watch how this dives, falls apart Monday, okay, but it may hang around enough and create these boundaries that develop storms in the afternoon. Not all of us get rain, but it's not an all-day rain. And I want you to know that I don't think Monday or Tuesday is an all-day rain. Rain types like that. What I can tell you is Sunday, as Corey's out at the race, hanging out, we're going to try to stay dry for that. We're feeling pretty good. And I think for the most part, for the next few days, we're going to look at temperatures close to 90. So it's going to feel an awful lot like June as we continue that trend of awfully warmer than average conditions over the last 3 months.
It's that time of the year.
Yes, sir.
All right, Corey, you're going to be hanging out at a raceway?
I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
But today was just as good. Awesome sports day in St. Louis, whether you opted to check something out in person or kick your feet up on the couch. Everybody had something going on, and we have a lot to talk about coming up after the break.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
From about 9 a.m. this morning to 9 p.m. tonight, there was something interesting to watch in St. Louis sports. So with a loaded schedule like that, enough listening to me, we have to jump right into the action, and we're going to start down in Miami, where City SC took on the best team in Major League Soccer. There's that man for Miami, Lionel Messi, the GOAT. City came out hot, though. Chris Durkin, what a time for his first goal with City. They lead, and the fans that traveled go absolutely nuts. What a shot. But you knew it was coming. Here's Messi. Here's a goal. It's what he does, folks. Tie game. Roman Berkey looked like a GOAT tonight, too, though. He's going to stonewall Messi on that shot, who absolutely cannot believe it wasn't a goal. There's another look at it. Crazy stop. 41st minute now. Indiana Vasilev, he breaks the tie. He scores against his old team. It's 2-1 City. Miami tied it again, but here comes City. Leuven off a corner, goes in for an own goal. City back up. However, 85th minute, Jordi Alba's going to get loose. It's 3-3 on that goal, originally called offside, but it was overturned. Berkey makes one last insane save to preserve the tie, but that's how it ends, 3-3. The losing streak is snapped. Messi and Berkey swap jerseys, and City just misses out on a huge win.
I'm not too sure I've seen a game where Messi lost the ball so many times, in transition, and we were, coming from the front, the back, the side, which was amazing to watch. And I mean, yeah, that's a player with the highest pedigree. So, we proved we can perform at this stage. And yeah, I think everyone's a little bit upset right now.
Cardinals continue their series in Philadelphia. A rough start for Sonny Gray. Phillies jumped on him early. 2 runs came off this first inning double from Alec Boehm. Cardinals would score. Sack fly for Mason Wynn. Look at this heck of a slide from Nolan Gorman chugging home. Great slide. He's safe. Phil's end of the game right here, though. Bryce Harper, that's a bash. That made it 6-1. Did have a nice moment late in this one. WashU's Ryan Ludus finally got the chance to debut. No runs allowed for him, but the Phillies do win this one 6-1. St. Louis has not hosted a professional football playoff game since January 10th, 2004. The Rams lost in double overtime to the Panthers. Well, next week, the wait is over. The Battlehawks have brought playoff football back to the Dome. It was a tight battle for Dome field advantage against San Antonio today. Good to see A.J. McCarron back. Here's St. Louis's only touchdown of the day. McCarron to Stephen Mitchell Jr. That made it a 6-0 game. But we're going to fast forward all the way to the fourth quarter. Brahmas would score. They go for 2. That would give them a 1-point lead. Looks like they get it, but here comes Coach Beck. He's going to use the UFL's super challenge to get an ineligible man downfield call. Incredible stuff from the coaching staff. Battlehawks still up. Brahma's got one last shot to win it, though. Field goal with time winding down. Hakeem Butler got a piece of it. It is blocked, no good. Battlehawks win 13-12 to secure a home playoff game against this same San Antonio team next weekend. And the message for next week is crystal clear.
We need 40, we need 50, we need everybody in. You know, whether they gotta make all these tickets purchasable, you know, so we need all the fans in there.
And it is vital that St. Louis comes in droves. We need them, bring one friend and this place is full. That's kind of how easy it is. So excited to come back next week. I can't wait to walk out of the tunnel and see what it looks like.
Across the river to Worldwide Technology Raceway today. Big day on the eve of the Enjoy Illinois 300. Michael McDowell had the best car in qualifying. He won the pole. That's his third pole of the season. After that, the rain delayed the truck race for a while, but eventually Corey Heim came charging ahead of the pack. Must have been that first name. He wins the Toyota 200. It is his fourth win of the season. You know that car. It's the King's car. Richard Petty was on hand as Worldwide Technology Raceway celebrated 75 years of the Petty family's connection to NASCAR with a special salute and a statue. Appropriately, it was shaped like a cowboy hat. And the King loves the passion for racing in St. Louis.
A lot of race fans in this area, and this is our chance now to really come and tell the fans that we appreciate them coming and following the Petty family and NASCAR all these years. So to go to their backyard and see them coming to see us, it makes all of us really feel good.
We have some new state champs to celebrate. Althoff, Koryezu, and Narings Hall all claim state championship trophies tonight in girls soccer. Congrats to those programs. Certainly memories for a lifetime. I think some more memories for a lifetime going to be made next weekend at the Dome. They had 34,000 today, and that was just for a regular season finale. Playoff game at the Dome.
Oh, much more than that.
Bring your earplugs. It's going to be loud.
It's going to be a party. Thank you, Court. Well, that's all of our time. Make sure you stay with us, and even until the morning, your news is back at 6 a.m. Have a good one.